Priority number one, do you have one customer using the product? If the answer is no, something is wrong. What can I do to like make it myself as successful as that company? The larger you go, the slower it is. The smaller you go, the faster the sales cycle. So like think about the smallest possible customer you can get. I hate to say it, if you want investors, they judge you on your website. And it is like a catch-22 because investors will look at your website. So your inkling is to want to spend a lot of money to like make a really nice website, like 10 grand, 20 grand, 30 grand, whatever it is. But the problem with that is you're spending your money on a website and not like focusing on getting customers. So whatever you can do is find like a nice template or find something that like makes your company look as professional as possible. Webflow is what we're using. I think, you could use whatever you're using, but I'm just showing you how fast like investors will look through stuff. Okay. Opportunity just paid Saudi Arabia for the discuss. That's interesting. Follow up. Okay. I don't know what that is. Chief Product Officer, Cloud. Maybe it's valuable. I'll star it. Let's connect. I'll just show you how fast I'm like doing it. There you go. Datadog. I don't even know what they do, but I hear a lot about Datadog. Here, let's go Datadog. Is this software? Is this people? It's a really big company. They're really successful. It might be a really bad example. Full stack observability and security built for enterprise scale. It doesn't say anything. Oh, here you go. Boom. They are a software company and they're selling me something that's software related. Software, groundbreaking visibility risks. Okay, soft product. Something about China, visibility. That means that it's probably software to track China. Let's look at another one. And this is how fast they're looking at. This one I've heard of, I think. Commission manager. Okay, commission manager, is that a person? Is it an Excel sheet? But like you are judged on your website. But this background shows me what they do. End-to-end solution. So it's not a person. Hosting better data. Okay. So something here. Okay. It's not a person. Skills speak louder than words. This is actually a bad website. Yeah, I don't even know what they do anymore. I have to go to products, screen. What is screen? Oh, this is what they do. They have a screener tool. Like it actually is really bad when you just blank it out. Oh, it's Christmas time. There's a beautiful bag. So, it's an iPhone. Okay, they're selling iPhones. They're really just selling iPhones. That's not loading. So they don't sell, I don't even know what an iPad Air is. I don't even know what iPod Pro, like you really don't, it's not, okay, it's a phone company with a credit card. They sell credit card. Like, it's like you have only so much time to get the person liquid. AMD. So we raise 100 to scale, capable and efficient general purpose. So it's something to do with chips and AI. I wish there was more context here. I do see these dots, so it gets me curious. I guess for me, it's like touching and feeling. Like you want the investors to know exactly what you do immediately. I kind of like this AI clinic. It tells me there's something with AI. They don't show product though, so that's really confusing. Like, okay, that means that they don't have the product ready in my mind. It's like there's something missing there. Okay, I don't know what that means. Low Earth orbit. Whatever that means. It's very confusing, but is that their product? I don't know. Interesting. So I could like play music for free now on their website. Oh, look at that. Immediately you're in the product. So it's trying to get you to like play a song and then you're trapped and you gotta like sign up. So they don't even let you play. Okay. It kind of got me. I kind of understood. It's still kind of confusing, but it showed me a bunch of people. I wanted to click around and click, and then it got me to sign up. Because the moment they get you to sign up, they've got you. You only get like a second with investors to like look at your website. Product is in your face. Is this the best image? No, but it shows you that it's not people, it's software. Like it, you know what I mean? Like it gets you to that, okay, platform. I mean, for me, I always like to move up market, which is like Dropbox sold to the consumer originally, then moved up market into like larger enterprises. The iPhone was purchased by consumers and then pushed into like hospitals. Salesforce was like sold to one salesperson originally. I don't know if you know this. And then they pushed up market. So like the smaller you go, the smaller the client, the quicker the sales cycle, then the faster you get revenue in the door and feedback, and you can iterate very quickly and then basically move up market slowly that way. So you're getting feedback, like iterating. If you come enterprise first, I get really worried because a lot of people try to go this route where they try to get the big, best customers. And what are they looking for? They have all the time in the world. They're so profitable. They're not like dying for a product. They're gonna like drag their feet. They're gonna make you do a pilot with them. They may have an RFP process where they like have other competitors picking the LOI. They may sign something with you and then take a year or two. I spoke to one founder. It took him like 3 years to close a Fortune 500 company. And I'm like, that's not abnormal. The larger you go, the slower it is. The smaller you go, the faster the sales cycle. So like, think about the smallest possible customer you can get with your product and try to close them. Sure, you could go after the larger one, but I think it's more of a waste of time originally. Like, just to start off, I think the smaller you go, the more revenue and confidence and feedback you get. Because you could be throwing a pie in the sky idea out there at a large company, and they will take their time and they will just decide over time. And you only have so much time as a startup because your bank account is shrinking and they're not paying you yet. But if you go after the smaller guy and he's like willing to cut you a $50 check, give you a $50 on, swipe a credit card for $50, or, they're willing to like try it for a month and then pay you in a month and you sign a contract with them, it's like real, as opposed to like someone giving you pie in the sky ideas and it's one person at a large company and then they have like a committee that has to decide and then they have to figure out the budgeting on that. And it's like it's kind of a nightmare when you're selling to larger companies. If you want to go that route, just be prepared for like long droughts of no sales. And then like over time, you might hit a big win here and there, but it's not impossible. It's just not the route I take. I like to go up market, like meaning try the smallest possible customer. You kind of want just the modern companies that are doing the best out there. Like the best companies that like you can think about. Like what company has recently raised $20 million? What company has recently raised $5 million? What company has recently raised $40 million? What company has recently IPO'd? What company has IPO'd 5 years ago but is killing it? And you look at all of their websites and you spend a week, and this is what I did. This is what we did at our company, is you just look at all these different design aspects, and you don't want to just create something from scratch from just a template all by itself. I think you want to like look at the best of the best and be like, what are they doing that I can learn from and then I can put on my site? If you look at who has recently raised money, they'd convinced investors. They know how to brand it the right way. They probably have traction. I'm assuming anyone who's raised over whatever it is, $5 million has figured out a way to brand themselves to customers and to investors at the same time. You're going to not want to look at one website, look at 100, but look at like over the last year, who've raised money and who has traction. Why and how are they doing it? And like analyze that and say like, what can I do to like make it myself as successful as that company? Learn from competitors, learn from totally unrelated, like the Rabbit R1. This guy raised a ton of money. The product is extremely like controversial and hot, but his branding is on point to the point investors really got excited. Now, is it a legitimate product? I don't know. I don't own one. But like the buzz around it is very like high because the branding is so good. They understood how to market the product to investors and to the consumer. Again, it's a really controversial product, but I think the branding was like on point. Like I think it looks beautiful. The colors look beautiful. The website tells you the story really well. Whether the product works or not, that's a different story. Like you have to like try the product, feel, feel it and look at it to see if it's like something. Like think of other things that like have gotten like massive buzz. Like why is Perplexity's website so good? They're like a really hot startup. There's all these really, really hot startups out there that you can learn from. That's all I'm saying. I would learn about AI way more also, and how can you apply some AI to like what you're doing? Integrate that into your site because AI is the future and people know it and investors know it. And people want to learn more about it. And like, how do you spin it where you have AI help to place people? I mean, that's why you should look at 100 sites, because there's going to be one that really resonates with you. And then you can say, oh, this is the look and feel that I want. And I want to feel like my site. So I was technical. I mean, I have my master's in computer science. So, I have a sense of who is good to work with. You don't want to work with someone who's a jerk. I think you need to like detect, trusting your gut. Like, is this person friendly? Do I trust them? Can I rely on them? Do I like them? Can I sit in a room for 8 hours with them? Do I enjoy like hacking with them? Do they have creative ideas? Do they give me like energy? I think there's like different type of people to work with. I think you have to get really excited and like want to work with them. I mean, the one thing is there's never the perfect person. I think every startup is like kind of a ragtag team of people that will come together and like do something amazing. But I do think that there's different types of founders. Some are very technical, others are more creative and not technical. I would just trust your gut on it and like not do that. If there's something off about somebody, like trust your gut. You could still go into it and have that relationship with them, but just be aware like you're going to be dealing with whatever that quirk is like for the life of the company. Because at the end of the day, the co-founder relationship creates the culture in the company. So if you feel like they're arrogant, you're going to have like a culture that like breeds arrogance. If they're like extremely hardworking and humble, you're going to have a culture that breeds like extremely hardworking and humble. You could do a test of like working together a month, a week. You could honestly just say, let's try this for a month, and we could touch base in a month and just make sure we're like good co-founders working together. And you can make it clear, like if any work we divide it 50-50, like if you want to split up and it's not a fit. But if it's someone that you feel is very competent, but they're extremely awkward, I never mind that versus arrogance or aggressiveness or like depressiveness. Like you want someone that you get excited to work with. Like as you build the company together, he's going to learn from you. You're going to learn from him. He's going to learn from other customers. Like he'll start to get better at that. And even if he doesn't, that's okay. It's like, you have to get the company off the ground with the team that's there. Like you're not going to hire the perfect person that like floated down from the heavens. That's like going to like be this great engineer and perfect person. And like, you're not going to find that person unless you keep interviewing for a long time, but time is short. People that are available, people that are smart, people that are not arrogant is the most important thing. And, don't worry about what investors think or customers think. If they can build and you like working with them, that's the base. Like, it's fine if you talk to all the customers at first. If he's coding so fast based off of your feedback and you like see the coding happening and he's like legitimately like making value at enormous like rates, that is more important than him looking good to customers or investors. It's like if you're both making the thing that people want, don't think about investors or customers per se if the customers are using it. Like priority number one, do you have one customer using the product? If the answer is no, something is wrong. If you have one customer, hyper fixate on making that customer happy. That's the most important thing. Investors are great, but like customers are so important to like the lifeblood of a company. Build the product, make it as great as possible, make it as simple as possible, get customers to pay you. I do worry, like if you go after a big market, go after a smaller market. Okay, I'll give you a perfect example. Like everybody talks about Steve Jobs, this great guy, right? He had his shit together. Do you know he used to walk around his first job with no shoes on and he smelled really bad? And then you had, Steve Wozniak, this other really awkward guy, but people wanted their product. They were very, very eclectic, weird, strange kids. Their very first investors like thought they were strange. If you read stories about them, like the investors were not like, oh, this is the perfect startup. They were like, these are some strange kids building something that people want. They're very awkward. Like Steve Jobs didn't shower, but he knew to like have a co-founder, Steve Wozniak. So between the two of their strangeness together, they created something amazing that like became something so much bigger than them that like everybody uses. Just look at, Jeff Bezos. He was awkward. With Google, they hired in a CEO because both the founders were awkward. They removed Steve Jobs from Apple because he was awkward and aggressive. People that grow into it, like people grow as they build companies. Like if you look at Drew, the co-founder of Dropbox, he's the CEO of Dropbox. He like grew into a large public company and he's running the place. If you look at Box.com, all the founders grew and they all are still running the place. Every company is different. Every journey is different. Like, I don't know, if you feel good about it and you're like, this is the right person for me, I can work with them. If they can iterate on the product and you both can get a couple of users, then that's like a win. I would just say this, like if you can get like 1 user in 3 months, that's a really good sign.